Hi, welcome back to another Terranscapes video. This video I'm going to be showing you an update on the Elf Town project, and I've gotten a few questions on this project in terms of what exactly are these designs working towards. So I'm going to put a link to the very first video up in the corner here, and that way you can go and see the genesis of this project. But these buildings are being designed to be placed onto a large, display that includes a town, fortress walls, and a variety of other elements. And if you're new to this, and I didn't say this already, these are designs using Inkscape to be laser cut from various thicknesses of materials to then be assembled into the buildings for the display. So you're seeing the two-dimensional designs that I'm putting together that will be used by the person who's doing the cutting for me. Very generous man. I just want to thank him immensely for the help that he's been affording me on this project. And so these designs then become the templates to cut, and then when the pieces arrive, I can assemble them into their subsections and then cast from those. So I'm not currently planning on doing any reproductions of them, and I'm not going to decide what kinds of ways I might interpret that until I'm closer to the end and I see how they all look. So if you're new to this project, first of all, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm always excited and flattered that new people are joining the channel all the time. So I just wanted to say thank you and let you know that I notice and I appreciate it. And you should check out the first video in this series. Of course, there's a playlist on my channel, and that has all the videos up to date to this current one that you can check out, so you can get up to speed on where this project is going. So with all of that said, let's take a look at the project and see what I've been working on and where it's going. So here you can see what I've labeled as Building 3, even though Building 1 may not get revisited. Building 3, this is. And one of the things that I wanted to do with this building was add in a larger balcony that's open. The clients have really emphasized that they want multi-level play, so this was my first chance to start adding in something where more miniatures could be placed in an environment on an upper story. So looking at the front of the building, you can see some of the work that I've done before. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to borrow as many pieces as I can from previous buildings to make the future assemblies a lot faster, hopefully a lot more streamlined, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video. But you can notice the gable trim here, and of course the railings are the same, and you can see some of the bracings that I've developed in the past. And of course here's our happy little elf here, just to give you a sense of what that perspective looks like from this angle. And here's the back of the building, and of course this is where I added some extra work in that slowed down the development of this building. Is if you recall back in some of my earlier videos, I wanted some really tall windows that spanned maybe from floor to ceiling, and so designing this, actually I couldn't go back and use any of the pieces that I had before, so I had to design this from scratch. And you can see the framing that I've made here, and in fact as I pull back, what you see here is the layout of all the parts, but according to the material thicknesses. So the plywood, then I have a 3/64 inch plywood that's 1/16, that sort of idea. So I've laid out all the parts here to facilitate organizing this for cutting sheets, to be a little bit quicker. But in fact, actually, I've got some streamlining ideas since I've done this as well that I'll talk about again in just a few minutes. And of course, you also may notice that this is a new window as well. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to start saying that a lot because I've been tweaking stuff a lot, and it's time to start leaving things as they are. I'm not 100% sold on this look, but I like it overall. This was actually a door opening I had designed before, and I thought it might make a better window, trying to think of a little bit of the Art Nouveau movement, and in trying to capture some of that versatility in designing elements to add a little bit more interest. So here you can see Building 4 And building 4 is really a mishmash of, or combination thereof, of the previous superstructures, sort of sub-assemblies, I'm really calling them, from the previous building. You can see, of course, the facing and the window and the gable trim that I've all previously designed, as well as those windows now, which I can use as a flanking window to the main entranceway to the building. And I really wanted to start exploring having, say, row houses put together. And in fact, just as I was looking at this, I realized that, while having a door here is great, and I wanted to break up the symmetry, I guess if they were two separate apartments, if you will, then this should probably have its own door. And then I thought, well, this does look a little bit like a door. It was based on, originally a door design. And I thought maybe if I just put in a couple steps here, I can bring the fact that it's sort of a glassed in or an open door into this. And then it kind of actually complements this by having two different style doors for each of the apartments, although they seem to be sharing the same entryway. But we're not going to change this as it is. We're going to go with it. But this now becomes a large balcony, and I haven't finished putting in the railing or changing it in its perspective. But before I show you the top down, I wanted to show you one of the initial challenges that I had. So here's a mock-up of the staircase rising to the balcony. Now, first of all, one of my goals was to have every fifth, which is actually every sixth step, be a landing, so that the miniatures, as they were going up any of the staircases, could stop partway up the stairs. And by implementing 5 stairs and a landing and going from this height to the ground, right? This is quite a long stairway. If you were to just set it aside, the building in a linear fashion, I mean, it's literally wider than the building itself, or just about the same. So coming up with a solution to get stairs to that balcony becomes something that I had to really sit back and think about, because unlike the other balcony where I didn't have stairs going up to it, there are ways I can get miniatures to the top, to the balconies without having a staircase, right? I can put ladders against the building, right? Like during the orc deconstruction of this, they are, able to access it. And so those could become proxies for climbing up into the balconies, which were maybe only accessible from the interiors. But that's not something I want to do over the entire town. And I want to have larger and larger second floor access areas. So beginning to think about how to get up there with some stairs becomes more and more important. So at this point, I had to take a top-down look and see exactly what was going on with the stairs and how I was going to best solve that. So before I talk about the stairs any further, I just want to show you what's happening here. This piece here is representing the second story building itself, all right? Then we have this yellow area is the first floor and the actual structure of the building itself. And when I put the second floor back on here, what you see here in gray, then it becomes the actual balcony on the second floor. And this is the dimensions of a 25 millimeter model in Lord of the Rings miniature range, which is standard man-sized, in this case elf-sized. And you can see right away that the balcony has a lot of space available on it for miniatures to interact. Now, in order to get stairs to that, all right, and thinking about the number of stairs that is needed, if I ran them along the side of the building, well, first of all, there wouldn't actually be enough linear space for that. If I rotate this, all right, clearly we have an issue on getting the stairs up to the second floor here at the balcony, running them as a straight line. And of course, I don't want to have them running out to the side of the building, which, of course, is an option. Now, you have to remember this is a side view, top view, but the length is appropriate. Let's say they were like this. That's a huge extension on the sides of this buildings. And one of the things that I haven't discussed much, but I should probably mention now, is that the buildings are intended, the entire display is intended to go on 12-inch by 12-inch squares, and I want to have, that'll be the breakdown and the storage of it, unless things change in the future. And so I don't want to have buildings straddling tiles as much as possible to avoid unsightly seams and complexity in assembly and all of that. So having stairs that extend off of the boards, that's an added difficulty that I really wanted to avoid right from the get-go. So that gives you a look at part one of this update. So I just want to remind you that this is part 1 of 3 parts. Next 2 parts I go into some more challenges and some of the successes, and in part 3 I wrap up with some big pictures of how I'm organizing things now and how that's making things easier for me. So stay tuned to the channel for those 2 parts. And in the meantime, if you wanted to give a like to this video, it would help. And it feels awkward for me asking for likes because I've never done that before. But I finally I don't know, I just made it a mission. I was like, I'd like to see more people come to my channel and share with more people. And sometimes my viewers are the most valuable things for me because they give me great feedback. So you're a resource. I like expanding that. So give it a like if it's something that you like and if you like this channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And hopefully you found something here that was of interest. If you want to subscribe, feel free. And if you're and see some of the other content that's here, and if you like it, hopefully you'll join me and join us, because we're a community as I move forward with my projects and other videos. So thank you once again, and hopefully I will see you on the flip side of the Elf project, because you know that I will be back soon with that Terranscapes video.